On Osrc News at 7, Governor Ayedatiwa set signs on governance as Apex Court's ruling ends prolonged litigation. Rivers Assembly resumes after 6 months suspension. Government sues 5 Chinese firms for attacking Ogun State officials. From the foreign scene, Spanish authorities arrest 19 people on suspicion of murder after migrants' disappearance. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on the news at 7. I am Omoshiliola Adesoya Ajayi. The curtain has finally fallen on fiercely contested governorship races in Ondo State. After months of petitions, appeals and political suspense, the Supreme Court has affirmed Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa's victory in the November 2024 election. In this report, Kuniari retraces the turbulent journey from the ballot box to the nation's apex court and what the future holds for Ondo State politics.
The story began with an unexpected twist in December 2023, the death of SY Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. His deputy Lucky Ayedatiwa assumed office as substantive governor, a move that set off fresh power struggles within the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) and across opposition parties. As the 2024 governorship race gathered momentum, Ayedatiwa clinched the APC ticket. Former Deputy Governor Agboala Ajayi flew the flag of People's Democratic Party (PDP), while candidates from the Social Democratic Party, Labour Party, and others promised to shake up the contest. On November 16, 2024, voters across the 18 local government areas trooped to the polls. By the dawn the next day, INEC had declared Ayedatiwa winner with a comfortable lead over Ajayi.
That Ayedatiwa Lucky Orimisan of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Not satisfied, Ajayi and some other parties approached the Ondo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal alleging vote manipulation and breaches of the Electoral Act. The legal fireworks began earnestly in early 2025 with lawyers presenting witnesses, tendering documents and debating technicalities for months. On June 4, 2025, the tribunal delivered its verdict, holding that the election was conducted in substantial compliance with the law and all petitions were dismissed.
That mandate that was given on that day has just been reaffirmed by the Election Petition Tribunal. So I'm so delighted and happy. Myself and my deputy and the chairman of our party, All Progressive Congress.
On the 3rd, Ajayi headed to the Court of Appeal Akure Division on July 31, 2025. The appellate court upheld the tribunal's judgment, once again validating Ayedatiwa's mandate. Still, the PDP candidate pressed on to the Supreme Court, just as the Apex Court was set to hear the matter. Ajayi withdrew his appeal, citing wider consultations and a desire for stability in the state. With no more issue left, the Supreme Court on September 18, 2025, dismissed the case and confirmed Ayedatiwa duly elected governor.
Today, the Supreme Court has also ruled with a strong warning to all of them that this is a complete waste of time, that the law is so clear. And I want to express my gratitude and thanks to the good people of Ondo State who initially gave us the mandate, and also thank all my lawyers that has professionally pursued this case to this level, and also to the Supreme Court, the judges at the tribunal, at the appeal court, and now at the Supreme Court for their professionalism and being just by giving this verdict today.
The ruling ended months of courtroom drama and paved the way for uninterrupted governance. Observers say it underscores the resilience of Nigeria's electoral dispute system, while also showing how prolonged litigation can delay reconciliation after hotly contested polls. For residents, the verdict brings a sense of closure. With the legal dust settled, the hope now is that Ondo State can focus more on security, infrastructure, and economic reforms, the very issues that defined last year's campaign. Kunle Aruyo, Osrc News.
The Akure-Ado Highway, a lifeline between two southwest cities, continues to test the patience of travelers. Despite a government-backed dualization project flagged off in April, progress has virtually been slow, leaving road users stranded with just one passable lane. Our correspondent Abidemi Akinrotoye, who visited the road, reports.
The Akure-Ado Ekiti Road, a vital link between two major state capitals in southwest Nigeria, has remained in disrepair for years, posing serious challenges to travelers, affecting both travel efficiency and safety. The dualization project, flagged off by government, initially brought relief to road users and nearby residents. However, a recent visit revealed that contractors have left site, leaving only one lane in use from Adedeji Phase 1 to the Ita-Ogbolu axis of Ondo State. The project, expected to ease traffic congestion and improve safety, now appeared stalled. The abandonment has raised concerns among road users who expressed concern about its impact on their daily lives and the region's economy.
Road is ongoing, but they are not fasting, Amy, because at time when it's raining, they will not come around. But when the sun comes out, they will come and walk. But we want to plead to the government to help us, because it's a federal road. I know government also participates in the work.
Wọ́n ti approve àwọn aṣáájú wọn àṣọ̀nà gbogbo ọ̀nà everybody ló kígbe ń bẹ̀ pé ọ̀nà yóò wá òkè.
As a crucial corridor connecting major cities, the road carries heavy traffic, including articulated vehicles that struggle to maneuver its uneven terrain. Commuters are appealing to the government to intervene and ensure that contractors return to site, warning that if work remains suspended, the road could quickly deteriorate to its former deplorable state.
They just say they are coming, they are coming, they are coming. I have not seen them. But we plead to the Ondo State government to come and help us to tell them, come and continue the job before December.
Kíjọba bá wa ṣe, ṣé wọ́n ti sọ pé wọ́n ti approve wọn lè ṣiṣẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Àwọn tó ń ṣe wọ́n slow.
Gbogbo ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ ò lè rìn wọ́n, onímọ́tò ó ba mọ́tò jẹ́ lójoojúmọ́ ni, ẹni tó ta ìjagun kòró jàtà, ẹ jẹ́ torí Ọlọ́run o, ẹ bá wa ṣe.
Effort to get comments from contractors and site workers were unsuccessful as they declined to speak on the reasons for the abrupt halt. Residents and motorists who had welcomed the project's early progress urged the authority to sustain momentum and prevent it from being abandoned. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
The classification range exercise being conducted by the 32 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Owena Cantonment, has begun at the military range Ita-Ogbolu Akure North Council area. Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 32 Artillery Brigade, Major Njoka Irabo, says the drill will run daily between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. at the military range Ita-Ogbolu Akure North local government area. It described the exercise a routine military training designed to sharpen the weapon handling skills of officers and soldiers. The army urged members of the public not to panic on seeing troops movement or hearing gunfire during the exercise. Residents, commuters and farmers in Ita-Obolu area have equally been advised to stay clear of the range for safety throughout the period of the exercise. The army also appealed to the public to share the information widely, including in local languages, to ensure maximum awareness and cooperation. You're watching the news at 7 on Osrc television. We take a short break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The move by President Bola Tinubu to end the 6 months emergency rule in Rivers State has reignited debate about the impact of federal intervention on the state and Fubara's readiness to reclaim the reins of power. In this report, Blessing Obe reviews the stewardship of the sole administrator and the conversation surrounding the governor's comeback.
Reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State.
On March 18, 2025, President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, and the entire House of Assembly for 6 months.
By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Oju, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months.
Retired Vice Admiral Ibok Etibas was appointed sole administrator to stabilize governance. The decision drew sharp criticism from opposition leaders and constitutional experts who branded it unconstitutional and undemocratic. The federal government, however, defended the action, citing Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as its legal basis.
It has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do.
6 months on, Rivers State returns to democratic rule, but concerns linger over the political and administrative aftershocks of the emergency period and over Fubara's ability to steer the state effectively after months on the sidelines.
If Fubara is going to be governor for 4 years, minus 6 months, so he's going to be governor for 3.5 years. That is it, because nobody will extend it, because he didn't challenge. I doubt if he challenged that emergency rule. He challenge it now. The court can say that, okay, you must complete your tenure. But to me, I believe that it's still part of our lesson of democracy.
Government is still the same way it was before the state of emergency. I think the only substantial change I have seen now is that Rivers State was predominantly PDP, but from what we have seen in the local government elections, we discovered that the state is no longer PDP on the surface. It appears that the All Progressive Congress now has a very large stake in the state, going by the local government election that was conducted by the sole administrator in Rivers State. So I would say that governance has not changed. It is still what it was before. There was actually no breakdown of law and order. There were no protests, there were no riots before the state of emergency. What was obtainable is what is still obtainable till now.
Experts warn that his return could pose orders from reconstituting his cabinet to clarifying whether his reinstatement needs fresh presidential or parliamentary approval or even another oath of office.
This is the first time in history when somebody that is not democratically elected will be superintendent over conduction of election. So, but what I'm saying is that we are learning from it. So, to me, Fubarana, to me, it's going to be like a toothless bulldog. He'll be able to bark, but may not be able to bite. But if he can apply what we call traditional wisdom, he needs that one now than interpreting law, so that he'll be able to survive all these precarious situations that he's finding himself.
We've heard that reconciliation meetings, peace talks have been held between the governor and the members of the House of Assembly. But so what effect is what we are going to see after the declaration of state of emergency? And also again, to looking at the local governments, technically I would say that Governor Simfubara does not have so much hand in the local government because his party did not really win so much of the seat in the local government. So it's a bit very difficult to say because now I think Simfubara has to start from the scratch, appointing commissioners again, appointing public assistants and what have you. At the end of the year, it's going to be tough for him.
Political analysts say the Rivers State emergency underscores the fragile line between constitutional intervention and political expediency. As the state transitions back to democratic governance, attention is focused on whether Governor Fubara will probe the sole administrator's decisions and how his return might influence Rivers' political stability. Blessing Obe, OSRC News.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly has resumed plenary session after a 6-month state of emergency imposed on the state. The plenary was presided over by the Speaker of the House, Martin Zamawule, at a conference hall located within the legislative quarters in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The conference hall has served as the lawmakers' temporary chamber since their official chamber at the Assembly Complex on Moscow Road was touched and later pulled down by the state government. The federal government has reintroduced history as a compulsory subject in the basic education curriculum to strengthen national identity, unity, patriotism, and responsible citizenship. According to Federal Ministry of Education, Nigerian pupils will study history continuously from primary 1 to junior secondary school, while the senior class will take civic and heritage studies, integrating history with basic education. The ministry said the reform is a priceless gift to the nation, reconnecting children with their roots while inspiring pride, unity, and commitment to national development. In 2022, the federal government initiated the first stage of a teacher training initiative to reintroduce history as a stand-alone subject 15 years after it was removed from the basic education curriculum. The National Hajj Commission has expressed concerns over the late payment of 2026 Hajj fares by intended pilgrims, saying it can delay securing accommodations at better locations in both Mecca and Medina. Chairman of the Commission, Abdullahi Saleh Usman, gave the advice when he led a team on a courtesy visit to Governor Diko Rada in Katsina. Saleh Usman said his visit to the governor was to seek his support as the chairman of the Northwest Governors Forum to facilitate the early payment. He described the issue of presidential subsidy for the 2024 Hajj exercise, one of the successes recorded by the Commission under President Bola Tinubu. Governor Rada emphasized that all available communication channels should be used to reach intended pilgrims across the nation. You're watching the news at 7 on OSRC television. We take another commercial break now. When we come back, the news continues.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here.
Mega Billion promo.
star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Glad to have you back, and now to the rest of the news. The Ogun State government has shut down 5 Chinese companies and arrested some of the officials for inflicting bodily harm on law enforcement officers and state government officials while performing their official assignments. The companies all operate in the Ogere axis of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. In ordering their seal-up, Managing Director of Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Abayomi Hunye, who gave the directive, said the companies assaulted and inflicted bodily harm on law enforcement officers and state government officials who were on their premises to seal them. Who decried the barbaric action of the companies, said the Chinese companies have constituted themselves as an environmental nuisance with their conduct and behavior towards constituted environmental authorities. He added that Ogun State government will not fold its hands and watch a few recalcitrant Chinese companies and their nationals carry out such dastardly acts under the pretext of investing in the state, as any of them courts will be prosecuted under the law of the land. The military has arrested 1 person and recovered a significant cache of illicit arms and ammunition after busting an illegal weapons manufacturing factory in Heipan, Plateau State. Disclosing in a statement, the spokesman for the Military Joint Task Force Operation Major Samson Jacom said the operation was intelligence-driven. According to him, troops raided the factory, arresting a weapon fabricator while others fled the scene. Jacom added that the arrested suspects and recovered items are in custody for further investigation and action, while the military is working to track and arrest the fleeing members of the legal weapon manufacturing syndicate. The army urged the public to continue providing timely and credible intelligence to support the ongoing efforts to eradicate illicit arms and ammunition in the joint operation areas in the state and environs. There are growing concerns in Benue State following the reported disappearance of 2 persons, including an aide to the state governor, Hyacinth Aliya. One of the missing persons, Atu Tava, who serves as the principal special assistant to the governor on youth and media mobilization, was said to have gone missing while traveling between Makurdi and Abuja on Tuesday. The wife of the governor's aide, Mrs. Silva Tava, confirmed that her husband had set out for Abuja but never arrived. The second case involves Asom Jerry, a social media activist whose disappearance has been trending online. The All Progressives Congress in the state expressed concern over the cases, calling on the state government to speak up and provide credible information to reassure the people that their lives and rights are valued and protected. And now to some foreign news. Bangladesh is grappling with a severe outbreak of 2 mosquito-borne viruses, dengue and chikungunya, overwhelming hospitals and healthcare workers with over 33,000 dengue cases and 130 deaths recorded this year. The situation has become critical, particularly for children who are among the most vulnerable. The rapid spread of these viruses is attributed to a combination of factors, including climate change, unplanned urbanization, and poor sanitation, which have created ideal breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Experts warn that without urgent action to destroy breeding sites and improve early detection, the outbreak could worsen further straining Bangladesh's already stretched healthcare system. The report is presented by Oluwafunmilola Akiniro.
Bangladesh is battling a double outbreak of dengue and chikungunya. Health workers are overwhelmed as an increasing number of children are being admitted to hospital. Desperate parents like Ratan Sakar have sought help in Dhaka because many clinics outside the capital don't offer the proper treatment.
We came from Narayangons because this hospital has better facilities. My son tested positive for dengue with a high fever. He's weak and he's lost his appetite, but he's slowly improving.
The first doctor said it was viral fever, but when we brought him here, he was diagnosed with dengue. His blood platelet count is still fluctuating, but he's getting better.
In a recent report, the U.S. Center for Diseases Control and Prevention warned of outbreaks of chikungunya, a viral infection that causes fever, joint pain, headache, and skin rash. Doctor says the viruses have similar symptoms, but the wrong treatment can be deadly.
Yes, this year we have found a different thing. Along with dengue patient, we are having so many chikungunya patients, but we are more concerned with the dengue patient because you know the death rate of dengue is very high if it cannot be managed in time.
Entomologist Kabir Bashar says if breeding sites aren't destroyed, outbreaks will worsen.
It's not just climate change. Human behavior is driving the outbreaks. Stagnant water, unplanned urbanization and construction sites have created ideal breeding grounds for the mosquitoes.
Expert says Bangladesh's entire healthcare system is taking strain as multiple viral infections spread, followed by extreme weather patterns and poor sanitation. They have urged the government to prioritize early detection and prevention before it's too late. Oluwafunmilola Akiniro, Osrc News.
Spanish police have arrested 19 people suspected of murder and torture after more than 50 went missing from a migrant boat that was traveling from Senegal to the Canary Islands. All the suspects are in Petraea detention, facing charges of facilitating irregular immigration, homicide, assault and torture. Police suspect some of the victims were accused of being witches after several incidents during the journey, including engine failure, bad weather and food shortages. The wooden vessel was rescued south of Gran Canaria with 248 survivors on board, but officials believe about 300 people were originally on the boat and that some had been thrown overboard. Those on board included people from Senegal, Guinea, Mali, Gambia, Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau. And that's it on the news at 7. Just before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. We told you that Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa is now fully set for uninterrupted governance following the favorable judgment of the Apex Court in relation to the 2024 governorship poll. We also told you that the Rivers State House of Assembly has resumed plenary session after a 6-month state of emergency imposed on the state by President Bola Tinubu. You heard that the Ogun State government has shut down 5 Chinese companies for attacking law enforcement officers and state government officials while performing their official assignments. And from the foreign scene, we told you that Spanish police have arrested 19 people suspected of murder and torture after more than 50 people went missing from a migrant boat traveling from Senegal to the Canary Island. That's news at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.